Hi everybody, thanks for coming back and joining me for another video. So I've got my living room shifted back into a bit more of a dynamic that I am happy with. As you can see, we're getting a lot more light coming in because I now have a hole. Yes, we had a wall bang through, hence obviously a lot of the dust and dirt that went absolutely everywhere. But when the kitchen is in a bit more presentable state, I will show you some photographs of before and after. So what have we got in the world of royal news? Well, we have seen royals everywhere and they are dressed in red. So I've decided to coordinate my lipstick to the royal ladies in red and, you know, one mention of the ex-royal in red. So first up, we're going to start at the top. We are going to talk about Queen Camilla, who was seen visiting the Grenadier Guards at Lille Barracks in Aldershot. I know these barracks well because I've been to a few dinner and dances up that way. But Camilla looks absolutely striking in red. It really just lights up her face. She always looks nice. I've seen her more in whites and creams and blues. I mean, she wore that gorgeous like purpley blue colour. I don't know what you call this colour, but she just looks absolutely amazing in this red. It really, as I said, it just brightens up her face. So I hope to see her more in these big, bold block colours. Our previous queen, her wardrobe was known for being a colourful rainbow. So I love seeing these sort of outfits on the royal ladies. Camilla was there because she was recently made Colonel of the Grenadier Guards, a post that was previously held by the late Prince Philip. This was then passed down to his second son, Prince Andrew, and thankfully for the regiment, which I'm sure they are overjoyed with, Camilla in December then took over the role of Colonel. Camilla was there to meet with members of the regiment and also met with their families and also presented medals. We've obviously seen a shift round with the colonels of various different military regiments where Catherine was made Colonel of the Irish Guards as well. So we will be seeing her actually carrying out her duties later on this year. So it's nice to see military roles obviously being given to the Queen and then Catherine, who is our Queen in Waiting now. Now, speaking of Queen in Waiting, Catherine and William went to a BAFTA event where Catherine launched her Shaping Us campaign, and doesn't she look absolutely phenomenal? She is rocking a rather gorgeous red trouser suit or pantsuit for you guys in the States, and she just looks absolutely beautiful. No tiara required. Now this outfit is an Alexander McQueen outfit and it's polished, tailored and looks divine. The earrings, I love the earrings. They are £18 from Aurelia. Yes, Catherine is wearing a variety of earrings as she goes to these big events. Sure, she might be wearing thousands of pounds worth of clothes, but the earrings, you can literally go to a shop and buy these for yourself. So for those of you that are interested, I'd imagine that they are going to sell out quickly. Now this red pantsuit has caused a little bit of drama where a few newspapers have run stories on it, listening to idiots on TikTok, but they are saying that Catherine has copied Meghan. Now I'd like to point out Meghan, when she was at this one Young World event where she talked about Mimi, I think it was something like 30-40 times in 7 minutes, she is wearing red trousers and a red blouse. Now while she might have overdone the tanning at this particular event, Meghan is a beautiful woman in her own right. And this is one of the things that bugs me. I'm not her biggest fan. I don't think that she has a very nice personality. But no one can deny that Meghan can look absolutely gorgeous at events. When she went to that Ripple of Hope award, obviously the award in itself caused lots of controversy, but she looked absolutely gorgeous. As I said, you can be turned off of someone, the most beautiful woman in the world, if they've got a personality that sucks. And that is obviously the difference where I'm concerned with Meghan. But for people to be kicking up, constantly saying Catherine's copied her, I'd like to point out, Catherine has worn red outfits for a number of years. So perhaps it's maybe the other way around. She certainly had no problem dressing herself as a deceased mother-in-law on numerous occasions. But when you've got famous celebrities such as Olivia Wilde, Elle Fanning, Victoria Beckham, Viola Davis, Fergie, Daisy Ridley, that have been rocking these absolutely gorgeous red trouser suits, are you trying to say that Meghan is the influence for everyone else? Because Meghan once recently wore a red blouse and trouser combo, now everyone else is just following her. It's one of the most ridiculous headlines. Now, Catherine was there because of this huge launch, which is Shaping Us. Now, this is her long-term, this is the start, the foundations of her long-term campaign to focus on the importance of early childhood development. Now, the campaign in itself, it is a public awareness campaign about the importance of early childhood and how it shapes us into who we become and society on a whole. It's about understanding how we can ensure future generations are being brought up in the world as happy and healthy. A happy, healthy child makes a happy and healthy adult. Now, I've seen quite a few people going, oh, well, she's not actually showing that she's doing anything. This is the start of a long-term campaign that she hopes through the Royal Foundation, where she can help encourage and help implement changes in schools, in nurseries, childcare, and how they can help families and, more importantly, keep children in a happy and safe environment. She's never once said that she's doing this because she's qualified. She has a team of people. She's got psychiatrists, she's got doctors, she's got child educators, healthcare professionals. They have all formed this early child development team. She works with experts and she is headlining it, which means she will be promoting it. She will work with various media personalities, sporting personalities to, oh God, I say it again, shine a light, but to draw attention to something that may have potentially been overlooked. It's about finding a way to make improvements. And like anything that is just getting off the ground, it might be some time before we actually see changes that are being implemented. So everyone just needs to slow down. Catherine is not saying this is her life work up until now, but it will be the continuation of her life's work. I think this is going to be her core project all the way through her life, focusing on children and education. Now, seeing as we're talking about the colour red, I can imagine there was some red faces in Montecito. Oprah had her 69th birthday, and my, oh my, was that a celebrity affair. Check out those faces. She had anyone from Kim Kardashian, J-Lo, Sofia Vergara, even her friend Gayle King, but this was the event to be at. And do you notice a familiar face that's actually not there? That's because I do not believe that they have a real friendship. I believe they have a transactional business relationship. First of all, you had obviously Oprah invited to the royal wedding. Then Harry managed to get the Me You Can't See. Now, whilst Harry spent the entire episode talking about himself, he was a full-time member of the royal family at the time and he lied to the Queen. Oprah's deal was reportedly Harry concentrating on the Me You Can't See to do with veterans. And obviously Harry, as we now know him, decided to spend the entire episode talking about his mental health instead. Whether that was always the plan, I don't know. But obviously, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And that's not the only transaction. Obviously, we had Meghan with Archie on her lap promoting Oprah's book club. Yes, that boring book, I have to say. Sorry, Oprah, that just looked like something for a very bored child. Archie couldn't wait to try and get off her lap, but she promotes the book club. Next minute, we've got Oprah promoting the coffee company that Meghan has invested in. Then obviously with the links through Oprah, you've got the Tyler Perry hookup where they were allowed to use his house. And then also when you looked into archetypes, once it actually got off the ground, the people that were actually helping Meghan, yes, I think it was like 30 people that worked on that podcast. Several of the producers actually have worked for Harpo Productions. So I think Oprah, in a sort of management way, actually got her team to get that podcast off the ground. Plus, when you look at the guests that Meghan actually had on her podcast, from Issa Rae, Mariah Carey, they are all buddies and connected with none other than Oprah herself. So it's like Oprah invested in it and said, right, okay, I'll get you the guest. Let's get this done. Also, the reason why I don't think it's a genuine friendship is, you know, you never see them at anything personal. They weren't invited to Barack Obama's birthday, and obviously they're all tight in the same circle of people. Probably they like discretion for a start, and that's not something that Harry and Meghan are exactly famous for. And when Oprah's dad sadly died, Oprah was down in Nashville, Tennessee, you know, staying down there, sorting out arrangements in the funeral. Harry and Meghan did a paparazzi stunt and they had her friend Janina in the car and they were photographed just magically outside Oprah's gated estate. And this is when Meghan looked like she was crying in the back of the car. Janina looked angry. And, you know, it was released. These photographs were released to try and say that they had just been to Oprah's. And Oprah wasn't there. So surely if they were that good friends, I think they would have been aware of the fact that Oprah was busy down in Nashville. So on to Harry. He has got another speaking engagement. Yeah, I know people pay Harry to talk. I couldn't think of anything worse. Possibly for torture, maybe. Unless he's talking about himself or his wife. He's not really got the education to talk about anything else. So he's going to be a guest speaker at an immersive 2-day summit for business leaders. This is part of his role as Chief Impact Officer at BetterUp, conveniently being held at Nob Hill in San Francisco. Given that Harry has been called a bellend numerous times, having it held at Nob Hill I feel is quite accurate. Now, as for Harry's role as a global business leader, that's incredibly questionable, as is Harry's role working for a company that promotes mental well-being, life coaching. Harry giving advice on such a subject to me is completely bamboozling. I love that word. Mainly because if you think that Harry has confessed to heavy drug taking, alcohol abuse, taking psychedelic drugs to help him see the truth, and he actually turned around and said, it's fine if you're around people that you know and trust. Bearing in mind his core of his fan base are young people, and there he is going, oh, it's fine to take psychedelic drugs, just make sure you're around people that, you trust. That's possibly not the best thing to sort of try and promote. Harry said in his book that, one, he wanted to kill his father and use military aircraft to threaten to do so, but changed his mind at the last minute. Whew, thanks, nice one, Harry. Harry even confessed in his book to bullying staff so badly that they were left as crying wrecks, laying across their desks. I mean, you can't turn around and say, oh, we just gave them a little bit of feedback, and for them to be thrown across their desk and crying, and for you to actually still try and admonish them for that in a book, just honestly, I don't think he's a very nice person either. I mean, the fact is, he is promoting a mental well-being company, and all he's done for, 3 years is attack his family. Harry has shown time and time again that the level of insults and private conversations and everything that he throws at his family shows he doesn't care about anyone's well-being, and he certainly doesn't seem to be firing on all cylinders to be talking about other people's mental health either. Now, as for him being a business leader, let's look at Archewell, because it's just been announced by Omid Scobie, their favourite mouthpiece, that Archewell 2020 to 2022 impact report just happened to coincide at the time that Catherine is launching her Shaping Us campaign. We see you, we know what you're doing. But this report basically gives a brief breakdown of where they have spent their money. And it's not gone down as well as I'm presuming the couple thought. I think they thought they were going to get positive feedback for this. Out of the 13 million raised, they have, over the course since 2020 and 2022, given away 3 million. So everyone's asking, well, what happened to the other 10 million? Now, some people have tried to defend it, mainly their fan base, saying, well, it's investing in future projects. So they've raised 13 million, but they're keeping 10 million back for future projects. It doesn't really add up to me. When you think that Sir Captain Tom Moore managed to raise millions and millions and millions, like absolutely, I think it was like 30, 40 million in total for the NHS, just by walking around his nursing home. He became a national treasure for it. There are lots of children that have done charity fundraisers, and 100% of the proceeds go to charities. They've raised absolutely millions. Harry and Meghan are incredibly wealthy in their own right. They have got their own money. They have got millions of pounds. They live, well, we know where they live. It's absolutely insane, the sort of money that they've got, plus all of the business deals, the transactions, the salaries from these companies that they work for, or rather they're the face of the little mascot for. And they've only managed to give away 3 million. That doesn't really scream philanthropy to me, does it? Not only do you not give away any of your own money, that out of 13 million, you just give away, 20% to go towards charitable causes. So naturally, this didn't get well received in the press. Not only that, but their statement is just truly, it's so arrogant, but they are stating where their money went. And it's, well, I'm just going to read it to you, but listen to the words. At the Archewell Foundation, we know making an impact is about so much more than numbers on a page, but we hold ourselves to the highest standard when it comes to measuring our work in the world. Here is a snapshot of our impact by the numbers. Yeah, so they've basically said this is everything that we have achieved. They rescued 7,400 people from Afghanistan through a partnership called Human First Coalition, which I'd like to point out was founded in 2021 alongside similar organisations. They were part of what was known as a digital Dunkirk. They all came together using various services like WhatsApp to help people flee when America pulled out of Afghanistan. 1,000 Americans and 7,000 Afghans. Now, this same company that they partner with gave Harry and Meghan an award for their life-changing work helping refugees. So I'm presuming head, shoulders, knees and toes is their absolute life life-changing investment that they've put in for refugees. Next, they helped serve up 50,000 meals with their partnership with World Central Kitchen. Now, World Central Kitchen was actually founded by the chef called Jose Andres, I think his surname is, and it was in 2010 that company has been around. Harry and Meghan only partnered up with them in 2020. Partnered up with them. They've basically put their name to it, like a foreword on a book. World Kitchen are part of the disaster relief community. They go to countries that have had big, huge disasters, and they work with local restaurants and chefs, and they, make sure that people, the volunteers and, the local people, they're all fed. They've helped out in Haiti, Cuba, Uganda, Ukraine, Cambodia, and the Bahamas, just to name a few. Now, another thing that they've said, they built a playground in Uvalde after the school shooting, which sadly claimed the lives of 21 people. Now, I'd like to remind everyone that Meghan went to Uvalde in a personal capacity. Bearing in mind that the shooting had only happened, I think, 24 hours beforehand. The community was still in shock. Meghan went down there and she took a team of people. She said that she went down there as a personal capacity as a mother, but what she did was she walked around where all of the TV and film crews were for all of the TV networks around the world that were actually there filming. Police were still investigating at this point, so they obviously set up a base for where all of the media and TV companies could go. And Meghan walked round the entire thing. She walked round one way, then she walked round back, she stopped, she posed, she went down for flowers. That is not someone that is there for a personal capacity. And also, luckily, I have got this, which I stole from one of my other videos. You can see here. Is that someone that is there on a personal capacity with a whole team of people and photographers in tow with her? Yes, that's Meghan walking to her car. So anyway, she received a lot of backlash for this. And then all of a sudden, a few months later, they're involved with the city of Uvalde and Kaboom. They partnered with them to help build a children's playground. It was a community-led project where the children were involved and they got to say what they wanted in, the best park if it could be designed for them. Now, that's the other thing. All the other companies that I've just said about, they would have done that anyway. It doesn't matter that Harry and Meghan joined them. They would have achieved all of this anyway. The playground still would have gone up in Uvalde without Harry and Meghan or Archwell. World Kitchen has been running since 2010. They still would have handed out all of those meals. The companies and the people that were involved in the evacuation of Afghanistan, they still would have got all of these people out. But Harry and Meghan are trying to claim victory for other people's good deeds and works. And it hasn't gone unnoticed by another company that they partnered up with. Also on this statement, they said that they helped procure 12.6 million COVID vaccines with their partnership with Global Citizen. Michael Sheldrick of Global Citizen, he has turned around and he's done a tweet and he's retweeted Omid Scobie's. And I see it personally as a bit of a slap because his statement says, "We were grateful to partner with the Sussex's Archwell Foundation to promote vaccine equity at a time when vaccine nationalism was rife. Our collective advocacy helped procure 12.66 million vaccine doses globally through garnering public and private sector support." So you hear him saying, our collective. He thanked the public and the donors. It was a contribution by everyone involved, not Archwell, not Harry and Meghan. And that's the problem with their statement. They're basically claiming it all as everything that they have done as two individuals. And it's just not the truth. Plus, one little thing that I did notice on there, he didn't use their titles. He doesn't refer to them as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. In fact, he doesn't use Meghan's title at all. And you just know she did not like that. Harry's probably found her sopping on the floor somewhere in a wardrobe. Now, do I think that might have been done on purpose? Maybe. Potentially. She doesn't seem a very nice person to work for or alongside. Now, Michael Sheldrick, in his one post, has managed to do something that Harry and Meghan should actually learn from. He has thanked the efforts of other people. And Harry and Meghan seem to be completely inept at being able to show thanks or gratitude for anyone that's done anything for them. Family members, staff members, other companies even that they've partnered with. They claim all the glory for themselves. I mean, when you listen to a lot of the crap that was put on their website, yes, I went on there, I went incognito. With the leadership of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, we have cultivated strong strategic partnerships, invested millions of dollars, and blah, blah, blah. The results of their work are undeniable, both through metrics that can be seen and an emotional impact that can be felt. So they're talking about how wonderful the leadership is by Harry and Meghan. There's nothing in there about the staff, the people that work for Archwell, the people that built the foundation. Harry and Meghan have literally got a massive team of people. Well, they did have, and they do everything for them. And there's not one moment of gratitude in there to say, thanks for the team that makes this all possible. They are quite literally the worst bosses in the world. And that might be why there is a mass exodus going on over at Archwell. We have read that they have lost another 2 members of staff. Quickly on the heels of Rebecca Sanners and Mandaya Dayani, they have now lost Farah Taylor, who is in Archwell Productions marketing team, and then the internal content head, Ben Browning. They both worked on Netflix. Now you've got to think the fallout of Netflix. Did they quit? Were they sacked? Were they pushed? Did they jump? I'm going to go with, I think that they possibly jumped because so many other members of their team that have worked for them have jumped ship. 16 people. Now, these are the top executives that have openly come out and have quit. So what about all of the underlings that work under them? I would imagine that the number of people and staff that Harry and Meghan have lost is a slightly higher turnover. Nobody seems to last past 18 months. Some of them don't even get to a year. Now, these are top executives. You don't jump around from job to job to job like that because it looks terrible on your CV. Some of these people have worked on huge foundations, huge campaigns for former presidents, for Bill Gates was one of them, and they can't hack it with Harry and Meghan. One of the people that quit, called Catherine St. Laurent, she actually said, it came out in one of the magazines, she left as she was unhappy having to fill work outside of her job spec. So that makes me think that they, obviously weren't treating her well. We know that they were treating paid security Canadian Mounties like lackeys because they complained about it as well. Now, Rebecca Sanners, who left in December, she's was head of the Archwell Productions. She predominantly worked on Archwell. Well, she did a TikTok, and while she didn't slate her former employers, she was saying that as a producer, she has done absolutely everything to get a podcast off the ground. And then the people that are the front and face of it, they get all of the credit. And, well, she's only just quit working on archetypes, so it's pretty obvious that she is implying that Harry and Meghan take all of the credit, yet do none of the work. So given the fact that there were lots of complaints and lots of stories that came out with Meghan's staff bullying at the royal family and the way that they cannot retain their staff, I am beginning to see a pattern. Or rather, I've always seen the pattern, but other people are beginning to wake up and see it as well. Whilst the bullying report has been buried for now, it's pretty much the proof is in the pudding that they are losing so many other people. And these people can't be blamed as being plants by Catherine and William this time. Now, just when you think they can't actually come across any more arrogant than they already do, there was another post that I found on their website that I'm going to share. At the Archwell Foundation, our core purpose is quite simply to do good. We meet the moment by showing up, taking action and using our unparalleled spotlight to uplift and unite communities, both local and global, online and offline. Let's be completely honest here. The only thing that is unparalleled when it comes to Harry and Meghan is their undeniable ability to post such cringeworthy, arrogant, self-aggrandizing, meaningless platitudes and posts. I mean, it's truly the stuff of jaw-breaking cringe. I've never known anyone that can be so in love with themselves. If they were chocolate, they'd eat themselves. Never has there ever been a celebrity couple that are so completely full of self-promotion. It's a daily thing for them. It must be truly exhausting. And the thing is that's quite clearly obvious to any of us that have been sitting back and watching this hello to newbies, welcome to the world, of actually seeing them for who they are. If you constantly have to tell the world how kind you are, how compassionate you are, how wonderful you are, what an amazing person you are to work for, how fantastic your company is, all the charitable endeavours that you do, if you constantly have to brag this image of yourself to the world, normally the opposite is actually true. So to quote a little bit of Shakespeare and to end the video, I think when it comes to Meghan, the lady doth protest too much, methinks. So that's it for me on this video, guys. I will be back very soon. See you later.
If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.